Hello, I'm Eskay. I've been a top 500 Lucio player for 6 years, peaking at rank 5. There's so much to learn on this hero, and this video is a great place to start, no matter your skill level. Lucio is a unique hero in that he's really easy to pick up, but playing him at his full potential is extremely difficult. It's pretty hard to coach Lucio players too, because it's not like they're really making mistakes. It's more like they're not doing what they could be doing. Most people don't see past Lucio's most basic level, and miss out on tons of opportunities to have impact. It's easy to exist on Lucio, and that'll get you places. But if you want to carry, you need to be doing so much more. I'm going to walk you through my thought process during a tournament match with my team Dart Monkeys. Now yes, tournaments are different than ranked, but most everything in this video can and should be applied to ranked, and if it shouldn't, I'll tell you as I go along. Immediately out of spawn, I'm amping speed and making sure that I have 4 people in my aura indicator. If I move too far away from my team, I could end up leaving someone behind. As soon as I see what the other team is playing, I make adjustments to my playstyle. Their comp has Ram, Torb, Reaper, Lucio, and whatever support. Immediately, I know that I don't need to peel for my support, I can play in the front line. The goal of their comp is to speed into my Ram and delete her health bar. That means I should stay as close as I can and save speed amp and boot for when they rush us.
No fade. Get ready to look at Reaper.
Okay.
Ram.
I won. We kite their push and I immediately die going for a boop on Ram. The idea was good, but I stayed too long after. Just because I died here and messed up my movement doesn't mean that I should stop going for boops for the rest of the game. Now sure, if I die multiple times going for it, then I'll make the adjustment. Okay, they have Ram ult for sure. I'm beating them to beat. They get boss in late fight. Here's another important concept, ult tracking. There's levels to this, and in tournaments teams keep track of the percentage of every single ult. But in ranked, you really only need to keep track of the important ones, and you don't need to be that accurate. For example, Nanoblade, Ram ult, Death Blossom, Fire Barrage. Things that could wipe your team if you're not paying attention, but can be easily countered if you are. The way you keep track of them is just taking a mental note of when they use them. If you know when they last used it, you'll have a feel for when they get it again. A good rule of thumb is if it's been 2 fights, they should have it, and if it's been 1 long fight, they could have it.
I'm looking. Reaper. Winnable maybe.
Winnable. Ram. I'm booping them in. Oh, my bad. We should go. Grab Mega. I'll speed us in. I'm speeding. Break every Torb turret you see when you're playing Lucio. It's your job. Torb can die, booped him in. Booping a squishy into your team when you have the advantage almost guarantees a kill. Here, I recognize they have Doom now, and my Sojourn is alone on height, so I go to help her. I'm in danger here, but wall riding above their Lucio ensures he can't boop me off and I can boop him. If you look straight down and boop someone, they move forward.
I'm trying to live on point.
Yeah, I'm trying to live as well.
More low.
I'm waiting for you.
I'm off.
I'll touch. The pole on the middle of the point is great for contesting. This applies for a lot of maps like Nepal Shrine, Lijiang Garden, and Busan Sanctuary. This is the fastest rollout to contest on this map. I late jump the first door to make it to the barrier, then I scroll wheel the rest because if I miss a wall it'll just b-hop for me instead. I use my amp at the start again because we're teleporting to point. Typically, if you're playing with a Symmetra, she will TP out of spawn and you should save your speed amp for after she TPs.
They're pushing fast.
We're strong after this, Nemesis. We recognized our advantage because they used Nemesis form first, so I speed amped us into them. This boop on Reaper gets us the kill. It's important you're always looking for these when you have advantage. You can get a lot of kills with boop that aren't just knocking them off the map.
Wait, someone cap.
I got it. Lucio is generally the person who should be capping the point and moving the payload. Between fights, I'm always holding tab to keep track of their ults and see if they made any hero swaps. Being able to tell your team that they swapped to Widow can save lives. Speeding.
I took punch. Come out, live.
Annoying Pharah and getting her to waste rockets on you or forcing their Mercy to heal her instead of damage boost is always valuable, but don't bite off more than you can chew. I got pretty lucky here and ended up killing her, but don't expect that. Whenever I'm playing against Mercy and we get a kill, I'm thinking about how to deny her res. Lucio boop is also a great tool for doing damage. Booping someone at a 45-degree angle causes their movement to be predictable and lets you get a few easy shots in. You'll notice I use this tech a lot when I'm fighting people, but I don't use it all the time. Sometimes it's easier to hit people if you don't boop them away at all, and sometimes it's better to save the boop as a finisher with a 25 damage. I'm walking right here to bait Pharah shots away from my team and force the other team to worry about multiple angles. If I didn't have Tracer though, I would just stay with my team.
Do anything, just ignore the Pharah.
She's pushing. I can go last. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Come on, I said more low.
One.
They're dead.
Big kill. Doom.
More headshot. One.
Can we cap? This res was uncounterable. I could have stood on the soul to boop her a different direction, but then I would have died to their dive. Your life is more important than denying a mercy res unless she's resing a tank. This is another example of recognizing when I've just made a mistake, but I shouldn't change my playstyle. Their Ashe hit a really nice shot, but I'm not going to change up how I'm playing just because of this one death. If she's constantly hitting shots on me, I'll adjust and I'll play on the floor or behind cover more, but I shouldn't change to a playstyle that gets less value just because I've died once.
We just keep looking for engaged onto Ashe.
Ashe here.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I can go whenever.
Come on, me.
I'm ready in 3, 2, 1.
Going. Ashe.
Huge.
Don't res. More.
We go point.
I have point.
I stopped res. Doom trolling. These windows on point are great for juking. Keeping your other support alive is one of the most important things to do as Lucio. But it's also important that you don't just glue yourself to your other support. You should be there when they're under pressure or about to get dove, but standing next to them when you could be doing something else is just wasting time. Whenever a Doom ults, I play around covers so I can either stand behind it or quickly wall it away.
No, we can't jump into them anymore.
All they have is cool.
As soon as the Reaper shifts, I'm gonna try to ult.
Yeah, we up first here.
Okay.
Actually, they're here. They're all good.
I can go.
Reaper. Oh,
Come on. Dead.
I'm good.
Doom.
Can we push for this? Oh no, don't.
No, back.
Back him.
I almost have beat.
We have.
Right here, I'm looking at their comp and thinking about who died when. This tells me which one of them has to touch the point, and I can play around that. In this case, it's Doom, so I'll look for the left side touch or the over the wall touch. I didn't stop it, but thinking about things like that can get you a lot of rounds that you wouldn't have won otherwise.
Doom close punch. Yes. Doom one.
Let's fucking go!
Good shit.
Alright, take TP.
Here I'm saving Amp for after our sim TP. They're late to the bridge, so I'm playing next to the wall preparing to boop someone. I got one, but their Lucio booped me into danger. This is something you can think about when playing against another Lucio. Think about what kind of boops they might go for and how you can punish them for it. Almost back.
Lucio 1.
Fight point. Can we fight point?
No, we have to reset.
Okay.
We're giving? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've.
Okay, I'm gonna touch. Me and Tracer can touch here in the back of point, and you guys can come from here, maybe?
Yeah.
I think you touch alone. I don't need to be with you.
Alright, I'll touch alone.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Whenever you're ready. Alright, I'm ready. Come here. I'm touching.
I'm stepping a bit.
A lot on me.
Lucio 1.
I'm living. Get ready.
Can we go?
Can we break her?
Yeah, we can go point.
TP and 2. I'm kind of playing.
I can look for an engage.
Mono fade. You can surprise boop people by going over this wall. It's a lot more effective than waiting for them to cross at the end of the bridge.
There's a little guy.
They have
I think
Cole
it's
for sure,
Starbolt.
right?
And Noon.
Purple noon.
And
I
Cole.
think we just
And
did back
Duma.
the point, like we never dive into
Do you just want to play for Rush?
Yeah. We can start
Cass is here.
I can.
Here, I'm checking to see if the barriers on the side of the point are broken. When the other team goes white room, breaking these barriers can ensure you get a boop if they step to the left or the right of the point.
I'm rushing. Left side point.
I'm feeling the dark one.
Doom has punch and ult care.
Oh.
I'm beating. Every time I beat playing against Doom, I consider where he is and if he has punch. Good Doomfist will know when you have beat and look to cancel it. Here, I'm booping their Lucio to make his movement predictable and punching him whenever I can. It's important to melee targets that are hard to hit. It'll save you ammo and build up damage, plus it's easier to hit melee than your gun. Lucio has combos as well. You can animation cancel boop with a punch, and that does an instant 55 damage. It's doable if you hit them into a wall, or you're traveling with enough speed that you can still hit the melee after you boop them.
I'm looking for when they get ready.
They chose to dive me. I tried to slip around the pole in the middle as cover, but I was too late. Whenever you're playing against Sombra, be ready to shoot or boop her to stop the hack.
More one. Cast one. Here. Nice. More dead.
Do 1 point, do 1 point, do 1 point.
Nice stick.
Nice.
Doom, point,
Doom,
point.
doom.
Nice.
Lucio one. Nice.
Tracer good now. That was
Tracer's
beast.
out.
Pulse, maybe?
Did they
They have
just swap?
Sombra
I
now.
think-
They have Sombra.
I don't think they have anything yet. Could be. It'll be post late fight.
Hopefully fight.
Or no, Cole, never mind. Alright, I'm close to rush. Tracer?
I didn't hack
Down. Left side. Some are close. No hack. Some are one.
His friends. Dead.
Monkey split.
Behind.
Chaser in.
Tracer's
Monkey
pushing us.
dice. 100%. Dead. Carry.
Huge. I missed the rollout, but B-hopping allows me to keep my speed and improvise the rest. Winnable, we're even.
Winnable, yeah.
Sombra one, force out. Tracer.
1 HP behind the pillar.
Got it.
Monkey.
Get out. It's okay.
I've beaten 10.
Okay. I need a little. Pop that
Oh.
I'm gonna carry.
Monkey's
I'm beating you.
Big. Carry.
Let's go!
Dark monkey.
Nice.
Dark
Nice,
monkey.
good movements that round. Playing
In drawn-out fights like this where anyone can win, calling targets or pinging them is important, and sometimes teams will listen to you even in low ranks. Having everyone focus the same thing can make the difference. And that's it. Guide videos are usually hit or miss for me, so if you want more like this, leave a like and a comment. If it does well, I'm definitely going to make more.